Hey everyone, it's me, Final Magus25, and today I am going to show you how to rune your monsters properly. So I tried to do a video like this about a year ago, but it was at really bad quality, so I thought that this time I might as well get it right. This is me getting it right. So, depending on the monster you want to rune, there are many different things you could do. So, one thing you could do is look at people's reviews of the monster. And something you will have to keep a mental note of is that they'll either give you sets on simple runes that raise your stats, or the monster's stats, or runes that do something special, like have a chance to give them another turn or add stun to their attacks. So we're going to be looking at a couple examples just to show you what I mean. So first I'm going to show you the Water Epicon Priest Rune. Hang on a sec. Okay. Rune is a support type monster, but her main stat that you have to upgrade for her is her health. Her first skill deals more damage if she has more health, or more maximum health. Her second skill heals 2 allies, and her third skill gives her a shield whenever she gets critically hit. But here's the thing, her max health depends on her, more like her shield depends on her max health. So the more max health she has, the more her shield has. So let's go over to the runes already. So as you can see here, energy runes are the main runes you want to give her, because if you put 2 energy runes on her rune board, that's a set, and it will give her plus 15% health. But another thing she may need is resistance, which is a stat that makes it so that she resists status effects. You know, if some monster tries to poison her or stun her, the resistance stat over here will notify you of how easy or how hard it is to poison or stun her, lower her attacks, stuff like that. So, I gave her 2 energy rune sets and 1 endure rune set. And these runes, they can give more than just the set bonuses. So, runes that point upwards, their main stat they increase is the attack stat. The rune that goes to the bottom right mainly increases defense, and the bottom left rune over here, hold on, increases health. Now, in these 3 slots, the runes can have a variety of different main effects, like plus health, but a percentage. And whenever you see a rune with a percentage addition rather than a simple addition like plus however many health, then it's a better rune than average. Or at least that's how I think. And then while you're upgrading a rune, every 3 levels it gets an extra addition to what it gives your monster. So, the main stat this rune gives is health, but when I got it to plus 3, it added defense. When it got to plus 6, it added resistance, plus 9 speed, and then plus 12 defense percentage up. Now, there are other things you can do with the runes to make them stronger. Generally, you'll want to use rune stones to kind of upgrade the stats of certain runes. Like this one right here. This grindstone increased the amount of defense she got, so now she gets less damage from attacks. In the Amplify tab are grindstones, and that's how you upgrade your runes. You use grindstones. You can also change the bonuses your stats have with these stones right here. And if you want to completely change the stats on a specific rune, you have to use Reappraisal Stones, or this yellow gem over here. I have one right now, but I am not going to use it because I don't want to ruin the rune I have on her. She is too precious for this world. Okay, so now we're going to look at one other monster. This time we're going to look at the Fire Panda, Zhang Fei. So, he's basically mostly a defense monster, so he's pretty tanky. He can have a good amount of health, but mainly you want to focus on his defense, and maybe his speed as well. His attack does not need a lot of additions to it. So, his first attack has a chance of lowering defense. His second skill heals, or at least gives allies healing over time, and gives himself counterattack and removes harmful effects on himself. And his third skill requires his defense to be really high in order to do a good amount of damage, while he also gives random harmful effects to an enemy. Unlike the Water Priestess Rune, the Fire Panda has a leader skill that increases defense for ally monsters, which means if he's the leader of your party on a certain mission or in a certain battle, this stat, defense, it'll go up for all monsters if he's the leader. So now, what I gave him does not give him any set effects. I did not give him a single pair of runes. I gave him runes that will increase his speed and defense well enough, and a little bit of his health. As you can see here, mainly the guard rune, usually if you pair two of those together, you add defense. Like how energy adds health if you pair two of those. So, as you can see here, I mainly chose runes that give plus percentage of defense. Like this one, and this one. Now, there's one more thing I want to go over. No matter what monster you use or how you want to rune them, you must be aware of the certain types of runes. Now, I already went over energy, which, if you get 2 in a set, you increase health. And guard, if you get 2 in a set, you increase defense. But let's go over some of the other ones. Blade runes increase the chances of a monster landing a critical hit, if you pair 2 of them together. Increases the chances by 12%. Fatal runes, if you pair 4 together, increase a monster's attack stat by 35%. That's a good addition. Despair runes are special because if you pair 4 of those together, you give the monster a chance to stun the enemy with their attacks. If they don't have it already, then they just add it if they do. Revenge runes give monsters a chance to counterattack when they're attacked, if they're in a 2 set. Endure runes, if put in a 2 set, increases the resistance. Then there's violent runes. If you pair 4 violent runes together, your monster gets a chance to get another turn. Usually you want to use violent runes on aggressive monsters who attack a lot or do a lot of damage. However, that's not always the case. For example, with the Dark Ifrit Veramos, you're going to want to give him violent runes because they allow him to take more turns and help his passive ability. I'll go over skills in another video. So, whatever runes are there? There's the Will rune, where if you put 2 in a set, you give your monster the immunity, blessing, or beneficial effect for 1 turn. If you put 3 sets of Will runes, as in all 6 Will runes in his entire rune board, then the monster will have 3 turns of immunity. And if 2 pairs, just 2 turns. The Vampire runes, if put in a 4 set, will give your monster Life Drain, in which their attacks will heal them when they hurt an enemy. Swift runes, when put in a 4 set, increase a monster's speed. Now, I use Swift runes a lot because I want my monsters to be faster, but depending on the type of monster I'm putting them on, I have to consider using either Swift or Violent. Because Swift does increase speed, but it doesn't give extra turns like Violent, but the Violent runes only have a 22% chance of giving an additional turn, so you kind of have to pick and choose between those two. Next are Destroy runes. If they're put in a 2 set, then your monster can destroy the max health of enemies. As in, you reduce their maximum health so that when they heal or something, they can't go to the maximum health they had before. Let's see. Accuracy runes are, if you put them in a 2 set, the monster's allies will get extra accuracy. Tolerance is similar because it does the same thing but for resistance. So what does accuracy ask? It helps monsters land debuffs like poison or stun, like I mentioned earlier. Then there's guard runes and rage runes. If you put a 4 set of rage runes together, you increase the damage a monster will do if they land a critical hit. Enhanced runes are basically energy runes, but they work for your allies instead of yourself. Shield runes are, if you put them in a 2 set, you give yourself, or at least the monster gives itself, and all of its allies, a shield that's as much as 15% of its health for 3 turns. And then you can stack those to make the shield last longer. Or at least I think that's how it works. With Determination runes, if you put them in a 2 set, the monster's allies get extra defense. And Fight is similar because it does this for attack instead. Nemesis runes are when a monster loses health if they're in a 2 set, or if they're in more pairs, their attack gauge goes up. Finally, the Focus set. If they're in a 2 set, the monster's accuracy goes up. Now, runes are not the only things. Like I said before, there are grindstones and gems that change the value or what kind of stat boost the rune will give. Now, you have these for all of your main rune types, but then there's Immemorial. This can be used on all types of runes, as you can see here. I only have 1 right now, but you can get more later in the game. Well, that was my rune tutorial. Oh, before I go, if you're having trouble and you don't necessarily know if these reviews for the monster are helpful, hang on. Then you can use the Manage button in the Rune menu. Now, the Manage button will show you a variety of runes that you search for. Like, for example, if you wanted the Dark Ifrit to have, let's say, for example, Vampire and Destroy runes, you could search Vampire runes, and they're there, or Destroy runes, and they're there. You can also choose which rune slot the rune has to be in, the main property, as in speed or health, etc., and the sub-properties, as in the extra boosts the runes gain per 3 levels. So that was my rune tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked this video, please like, comment, and or subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload a new video. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.